Today on Animal Outtakes, from scorpions and chimpanzees to diving dogs, performing dogs, and even guide dogs, we've met some amazing animals on this show. Join us as we revisit some of our most favorite moments. Hello and welcome to Animal Outtakes. In the past few years creating the show, we've had quite a few animal encounters. It's exhilarating being one-on-one with some of these amazing and rare species.
Okay, Marcia, pretend like you're washing your Mercedes, okay? There you go.
Okay. Yeah. They're so soft.
Aren't
so
they
very
sweet?
soft.
He wants to lick your hand.
Oh,
like he thinks you're going to give him a bottle.
And he is licking. Yes, he is licking. Okay?
Pulling something.
Yeah, probably a boot.
He's a big one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, slow and easy. Oh, it's a shark.
Oh, great. We certainly have encountered plenty of curious creatures. I remember once when we met a baby pygmy hippo at the zoo. That little girl sure was cute and had quite a life ahead of her. And we've been hands-on with some dangerous foes. But for the scorpion whisperer, it wasn't such a frightening task. The hippo is kind of an unusual animal.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a cool one for people to see, and especially when you talk about like the pygmy hippos, people don't get to see those very often. They always see the bigger hippos if they see them in zoos. So it's a neat thing to show people up close. So we're excited that you got a chance to see them.
So are we. Not to be confused with the heftier Nile hippos, pygmy hippos are smaller than their cousins, weighing in at about 600 pounds, a fraction of the estimated 2 tons that their counterparts carry around. How endangered are they in the wild?
They are facing some severe number declines in their native country, and so that's really going to put their numbers in dire straits. So luckily, thanks to zoos like ours, we're part of the AZA's Species Survival Plan, which basically the easiest way to think about that is kind of Match.com for animals. The Association of Zoos and Aquariums recommends through the Species Survival Plan what animals should be breeding with what animals, so that way we have a diverse gene pool with these animals.
So what is the hippo's daily diet?
Daily diet is mostly going to consist of a lot of roughage in the wild, so they eat a lot of hays and grasses that they would find on the sides of the riverbanks. They will also eat produce though, so if they get the opportunity to find fresh fruits or fresh vegetables along the way, they're going to eat those as well. So
for these strictly vegetarians, why the massive size?
It's a little bit of muscle, a little bit of insulation there, so to speak, for them. So they're just a combination of different things. They're just very stockily built, is the easiest way to put it.
They're solid.
They're solid, absolutely.
I mean, Dagwood was solid.
Yes, he's a big boy.
This is Scorpy the scorpion, and this is a giant emperor scorpion. These guys are from Africa.
Okay.
Is where they're found, and you can find them in forest floors and even savannas. And usually, when you look for scorpions, where you look for most bugs under logs and things like that, and they can have even little burrows that they live into.
After watching Kevin handle our friend, I decided to give it a try.
You ready?
Well.
All right, here we go. So he's just gonna crawl is all he's gonna do. Oh, there you go.
Okay, come on, he's
okay.
going backwards.
All right, that's all you do. There you go. Just put your other hand flat.
I think he knows he's got a novice here.
Actually, he seems really comfortable right now.
Well, isn't that something?
Yeah, and you
so
can.
Now I'm the scorpion whisperer, right? These creatures carry themselves around on their 8 legs, but its large claws and distinctive tail with venom-injecting barb are probably its most recognizable features.
You can see the venom gland, and it does actually have a very sharp pointer on the end.
Yes, it does.
But most people say it just equates the same to about a bee sting, so it's nothing that'll hurt. And usually that's their last line of defense, because they don't want to use that venom if they don't have to. So usually it's a good pinch or two, and then if they feel really threatened, they'll start using the stinger.
What part do they play in our ecosystem?
These guys clean up a lot of bugs for us. So actually, if you feel like you have a lot of bugs in your house, you can even get some scorpions to live in your house and go for it. We like to feed ours a lot of crickets. Some of their favorite food over in Africa is actually termites and termite mounds.
I held Scorpy for 10 minutes, and after settling in, He was comfortable and relaxed on my hand, proving that while we should be cautious around these creatures, we don't need to fear them.
The only way to make the scorpion happier right now is to give him a cricket.
You know, I still have dreams about Scorpy. I also dream about other animals, like Winter, the dolphin. I was so excited when we met the man who created her prosthetic tail. And some other inspiring animals are the puppies at Southeastern Guide Dogs. They're bred to truly be man's best friend. Dan, this is one famous tail, isn't it?
It sure is, man.
And who does this belong to?
The most famous dolphin in the world, Winter.
Dan Stremka has quite the story to tell. 9 years ago, he was tapped to create a prosthetic tail for a dolphin who lost her tail getting tangled in a crab-trapped line. Winter found her way to the Clearwater Aquarium, and her story has now been made into 2 major motion pictures. So tell us, what did you think when they called you and they said, we need a tail?
Actually, I didn't know what to think. I know the guy that called me very well, and I know he's not a big joker or a practical joker. And it was shocking, but exciting.
Dan and his team at Hanger Prosthetics had to figure out not just how to build that tail, but how to keep it on and how it would affect the dolphin's sensitive but tough skin.
It's interesting because it can tolerate more pressure over a broad area because they can go very deep in the water that we can't. Our skin wouldn't be able to have circulation. But for localized pressure, it's very tender. And also, if there's ever a cut or sore, it takes forever to heal because they're in salt water. We need to make something sticky, make something very soft and very elastic so we wouldn't put too much pressure on her. And that's when we came up with Winter's Gel, the liner that she wears. And we actually did that first.
Now, does this tail stay on her all the time, or does it come off?
No, she wears it about an hour and a half, about 2 to 3 hours a day. And it's usually in like therapy sessions. Dolphins expel all their heat through their tail, so we don't want to overheat her. Also, she's in there with another dolphin, Hope, and before Panama, they play rough, and we don't want to use it as a weapon. But also, we can't watch her that close all the time, so we don't want to make sure it's going to hurt her.
While he enjoys helping animals like Winter, Dan says it's his human patients that inspire him every day.
All that said, I mean, I got the best job in the world. I mean, literally no one, I'll compare my job to anybody around. I literally come in, someone wheels in, they walk out.
It's playtime for the puppies at Southeastern Guide Dogs. These little guys are about 5 weeks old and full of energy.
They're getting their feet out, under them, and they're a little bit more coordinated. This is the age where they're sort of fearless. It takes a lot to startle them, so we expose them to lots of different noises, and they just plunge in at this age.
They absolutely love those bottles, don't they?
They do.
But this morning romp is about more than just having fun and burning off energy. This is part of their education.
Obviously, other than just being fun, it's also getting them used to a different surface. It's getting them used to sounds.
Is this very beneficial? Is this something that should be happening for every puppy?
Absolutely. Early education is so important. This is when their brain is forming, when they remember these experiences later in life.
These 2 brothers are almost ready to go home to puppy raisers. At 10 weeks old, they have learned how to wear a collar and walk on a leash. But there's a little more work to be done.
They're learning about different surfaces, different potentially scary noises on a walk. They're really learning sort of how to interact with the environment a little bit more. It's a little bit more unpredictable out here. You can see even between the 2 puppies, one is a little bit more sensitive, one is a little bit more hesitant. He needs a little bit more encouragement. So we're working on building up his confidence before he goes home. He's trying everything. He just needs somebody to help him out a little bit. His brother's a little bit bolder. He's a little bit more independent. And this helps us make a match with a raiser, too. This helps let us know who's the type of person that'll be best for this puppy.
It's just amazing to see people helping animals and animals helping people. But we've got a lot more to show you. We're flipping, flying, and racing back with some amazing animal acts you won't want to miss.
For thousands of years, we've been humans' best friend. You've been through a lot, and we've been right there with you. A dog is part of the family, a confidant, and a friend who always knows how to get into your heart. So what happens to our beloved companions when we can no longer care for them? This is why we've created Dante's Den. an innovative, state-of-the-art facility that will provide care for up to 100 dogs.
Dante's Den is a community for joyful dogs.
Millions of Americans face uncertainty when planning for the future of beloved pets who may well outlive them. Dante's Den is a charitable organization, so in whatever capacity you can, please lend your support so that we may continue this most wonderful work.
Dante and I would like to thank you for watching and for also opening up your hearts to our wonderful community of joyful dogs.
Learn about the many ways you could become involved by visiting dantesden.org.
Hi, I'm Marcia Panucci, founder of the Dante's Den Foundation.
And I'm Ron Dixon, the executive director out at the Dens. Dante's Den has come a long way since its inception to where we are now.
We've helped hundreds of dogs since we've opened, but now we need your help.
We sure do, Marcia. Dante's Den needs great volunteers to help us feed, walk, and play with all of our furry friends.
So come on out and enjoy our 50 acres of beautiful countryside where you can also feed miniature Holstein cows.
And their babies.
And Hee-Haw.
The donkey.
And Buttercup.
A beautiful miniature horse.
If you would like to be a part of our joyful community of dogs, please visit dantesden.org.
Or call us toll-free at 844-DANTES-DEN. That's 844-366-8336.
Come on out today and see what makes us so special.
For me, it started with one hit of sardines. Oh, sardines. That's where I learned to beg. It was easy to score free fish. I mean, hey, with this dolphin smile, yeah, it's illegal, but no one cares. I had a monkey on my back, man. I was jonesing for people food, hanging out under boats, dodging props and hooks, and doing dangerous stuff that I'm ashamed to admit. Look, I know that I can kick this if people would just stop feeding me.
Welcome back to Animal Outtakes. Today we're taking a look back at some of our favorite animals, and joining me now is Ron Dixon, the executive director at Dante's Den. Ron has been joining us on our adventures this season. So Ron, do you have any favorite moments you'd like to share?
Well, Marcia, my heart is with the dogs. At Dante's Den, I work with amazing animals every day, and I love seeing them happy and full of life.
And these clips are right up your alley. Forward.
Arrow heel.
Arrow is being put through the paces during this rally class at the Sarasota Obedience Training Club.
Stay. Stay.
The 8-month-old Australian Shepherd is still learning the ropes, but his owner and handler, Joan Leopold, has experience with this fast-growing sport.
It's an obedience event that a course is set up with signs. Each sign directs the handler how to execute with their dog, the sign. And you go through the course and do everything that's required, and you're scored.
Instructor and rally champion Fran Lindstrom says the sport evolved from warm-up sessions for formal obedience, called doodling.
Originally set up was doodling, things that people did when they were training formal obedience, and they would do these kind of little exercises just to kind of change it up for the dog. So it wasn't just heel, stop, turn. They wound up doing the circles and the 270s and all the various things, and incorporated it and thought, gee, we've been doodling this sort of informally all along, you know, we could make this an event. So it got started that way, and so it's sort of a stepping stone to formal obedience for people starting out.
I would like people to understand that if they would start training their dogs at a facility like this, or there's many other places like this in the state of Florida, if they would start training, the more they train, the tighter their bond is with their dog, and the more fun they will have.
So it's just, they're great company, and I jokingly say it keeps me off the streets and occupied, and if I didn't have them, what would I do? You know, be glued to the TV or my computer, and gosh, working with the animals is so much more rewarding and so much more fun. Plus, I've met a whole lot of wonderful people.
Sometimes a dog having fun is the best entertainment.
Whoa! She actually had her mouth open that time.
So how many dogs are in the troop?
We have, Carrie and I have 10 dogs.
Ethan Wilhelm is a trainer and dog owner with the Canine Stars, a group of performing dogs that travel the country putting on entertaining shows featuring frisbees, agility, and dock diving. You know, so much has been said about dogs that entertain, that they perform. Is it the right thing to do? Isn't it the right thing to do? When you see Bootsy here, she is a love. She's the type of dog you could get on the floor and just roll around with. How do you train them? Because there's no abuse here whatsoever.
Oh no, see, these dogs, they're my kids, they're my family. And number one, if I had a dog that could not do something, we'd take the dog out of the show. If they're hurt, we don't push them to do anything that they can't do. So, you know, we use a lot of positive-based training. They never do anything wrong. It's all, you just wait until they give you the behavior they want, and then you reward it with a frisbee or a treat or anything. And it's all called positive reinforcement.
This is Quest. Quest is my border collie, and he's a rescue.
Barb Lenz is a trainer with Dog Stars in Bradenton and the owner of Florida West Coast Air Dogs.
17 feet 10 inches for Pippin.
While dock diving looks like a lot of fun, there's a lot of training that goes into getting your dog to jump.
And we teach it slowly. We teach them where they get out of the pool, and we play with the toys. The toy drive is extremely important. And you have to have a tremendous bond with the dog for them to trust you to do what we do. We want them to have fun.
Marcia, that was amazing. And to think many of those dogs were rescues, just like ours at Dante's Den.
That's right, and if you think that's great, just wait until you see the next act. We'll have you flipping when you see these professional performers when Animal Outtakes returns.
For thousands of years, we've been humans' best friend. You've been through a lot, and we've been right there with you. A dog is part of the family, a confidant, and a friend who always knows how to get into your heart. So what happens to our beloved companions when we can no longer care for them? This is why we've created Dante's Den, an innovative, state-of-the-art facility that will provide care for up to 100 dogs.
Dante's Den is a community for joyful dogs.
Millions of Americans face uncertainty when planning for the future of beloved pets who may well outlive them. Dante's Den is a charitable organization, so in whatever capacity you can, please lend your support so that we may continue this most wonderful work.
Dante and I would like to thank you for watching and for also opening up your hearts to our wonderful community of joyful dogs.
Learn about the many ways you can become involved by visiting dantesden.org.
Get ready for the biggest event of the season. Michael's on East Ballroom will be transformed into a frosty fortress of radiance and luxury. The attire is not partially white, nor mostly white, but all white. Join Make-A-Wish in helping grant wishes for local children at the 2016 Wish White Party, September 16th. Tickets are on sale now at wishsrq.com. Your support benefits Make-A-Wish Central Northern Florida. Come dance the night away while helping make wishes come true for local children.
A message from the Pulaski Law Firm. For decades, many Americans working in the trades were exposed to environmental hazards without their knowledge. While the dangers of one such airborne threat, asbestos, have long been known, efforts were made to hide the risks from the public. The result? Thousands of cases of asbestos-induced mesothelioma. Those in the trades may have been harmed by hundreds of companies who produced asbestos-laden products. The U.S. Bankruptcy Court has established asbestos trusts with $30 billion in initial funding. You may be entitled to financial compensation without ever going to court. If you or someone you know has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, get the best care available. Then call us.
Call 800-279-1837.
For nearly 2 decades, we've been fighting for those harmed by asbestos. Act now. Call for a free consultation and see how we can help. Mesothelioma. Don't fight it alone.
Welcome back to Animal Outtakes. Over the years, we've met plenty of impressive animals, but these next two will probably steal the show. Take a look. You know, when you think of circus animal acts, we think of tigers and lions and bears, but this guy, he's gonna steal the show.
About a year after we got him, I'd say, maybe
yeah, but about a year after we got him, it was the first time he performed in front of a crowd. So he was only like 1.5, and I mean, and he just, ever since then, he's been like pretty on point.
Meet Scooby. This Chihuahua mix has been performing on stage for more than a decade with his owner, Christian Stoyanev, who is a hand balancer. As Scooby has gotten older, Christian has struggled with when his partner should retire.
He's an older guy, and like you see now, he's just laying around in the house. He lays around and he just mopes around. But when it's time to perform and stuff is when he is more like upbeat. And so it's really hard for me to kind of decide when is the time when I feel like that's where he's the most excited. And I think as long as I see that he loves it still, I feel like I can't take that away from him. So
Do you think that on some level he knows just how important he is to this act?
Oh, yes. If there's a diva in this act, it's definitely him. Sometimes if we don't perform for a while, I forget stuff, but he remembers.
He knows the show,
Yeah,
right?
so he knows the show, but he definitely knows his value.
Yes. Woo, yay! Oh,
This
yes,
is
that was
Chance.
wonderful.
He's a 5-year-old chimpanzee who was rescued and raised by Pam Rosaire, who has spent her life working with these animals.
I started when I was 7 years old, and it's been my life's work, and they're my first love. And I couldn't imagine myself without a chimp ever. In fact, I don't think I'd want to be around.
Tell us how you've managed to get this wonderful creature to do what you want him to do when you want him to do it.
For one thing, I treat him like my son, and they learn just like children do, and they have an amazing amount of intelligence.
It's a positive reinforcement method that's based on affection training, you can call it. It's bribery, really. I mean, you find the treat that they like and you give them the treat, and we only have to get them to do something once or twice and it's there, and you have a word for it, like your dog sit, lay down, you know, you have a word for whatever behavior you want to do, wave, smile, whatever. It's just behavioral training.
You cannot train something that's afraid of you or hates you. They have to love you, and before you even start to teach them anything, they have to have that bond with you, and they have to love you like their family. And I think that has to be a mutual relationship to work.
As for Chance, he has a few years left in the spotlight before he'll retire with Pam's other chimpanzees.
He's just wonderful, and he's very healthy. You'll see by his coat, he's beautiful. He's just a normal, average, bratty little chimp at this point.
You know, there's an old showbiz saying, never work with children or animals. It's because they're unpredictable. But we like to do it anyway. And let me tell you, it makes for some interesting outtakes.
Yeah, well, she's not the pro.
She won't bother you, even if she goes up around your shoulders, I promise. She's very friendly.
We got a professional here too, Merce, so we're rolling.
Okay.
If she latches on, I'll get her off quick.
Thank you.
That's going in.
Hope my insurance is paid up. Okay. Hello and... Okay.
Are you serious?
Like your legs down right down to where it goes. You're gonna sit with home?
Nothing like being upstaged by a llama, right? And you didn't go to the manger. Here, Jafar. Yeah. And here comes my friend.
Tony, yes. Tony, yes, you can llama.
Yes. Oh, I'm getting big kisses. Oh. You know, when you know, I was better with the giraffe. Trust me. I'm looking at these worms. Ah.
And then these are super worms.
Yeah, how's my co-host doing?
Just checking it out.
Okay. We'll be right back with more animal outtakes from Bush Gardens. What? Sorry. I'm having fun here.
Conservationists believe that seeing animals up close and personal helps to raise awareness of the species.
on your TV, on your computer, on your camera, on your smartphone, on your Apple Watch. And now you can get ABC7, your Suncoast News on Fire TV. Just go to mysuncoast.com and click on the mobile tab for a list of fast and free downloads that deliver ABC7, your Suncoast News on the go.
Thanks to my volunteer, I am a better eater.
Thanks to my volunteer, math seems simple now.
Thanks to my volunteer, I discovered new career goals.
I'm a volunteer for Sarasota County Schools, so I know I can make a difference. And you can too. Give an hour, change a life.
Attention breast cancer survivors. If you experience permanent hair loss or baldness after chemotherapy, you may qualify for a cash award. Thousands of women suffering breast cancer were given a chemotherapy drug without being warned about the possibility of irreversible alopecia. If you or a loved one suffered permanent hair loss after chemotherapy, call 888-622-8732. Time to file a claim is limited. 888-622-8732. That's 888-622-8732. Using baby powder or talc may lead to ovarian cancer. $72 million was awarded in a recent talc lawsuit after lawyers found secret internal documents showing that the baby powder manufacturer knew about the link between talcum powder and ovarian cancer for decades, but never told the public. If you were diagnosed with ovarian cancer after using talcum powder on a regular basis, you may qualify for a cash award. Call 800-793-6621. 800-793-6621.
Animal Outtakes is produced by Dante's Den Foundation, a nonprofit group dedicated to creating the best life for dogs. If you would like to learn more about Dante's Den, donate, or volunteer, visit our website, dantesden.org.
We've come to the end of our time today, but we hope you've enjoyed looking back at some of our favorite moments.
Join us again next week for another great animal adventure.
We'll see you then. Oh, and he is licking. Yes, he is licking. Border Collies need to be exercise. A lot of exercise.
Hurricane season is here, so when severe weather threatens, count on the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7.
We bring you storm warnings faster and with more detail than ever before.
And track storms right down to your neighborhood.
On air, online, and on your mobile device, turn to the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7. We're here for you. ABC7 News at 7, weeknights.
If you're one of the millions of Americans who are disabled and unable to work, I have an important message. You may be entitled to receive disability benefits through Social Security. You'll be matched up with an advocate who will evaluate your situation, handle your application, deal with Social Security for you, and handle all appeals and hearings. Best of all, there are no upfront fees, so you pay nothing until you receive your benefits. Call the Citizens Disability Helpline today for a free, no-obligation consultation.
People ask me all the time, George, what do I do with my idea for a new product? I tell them, call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been providing patent referrals, preparing ideas, and submitting to companies for more than 30 years.
I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
For your free inventors information, call 1-800-881-6805.
ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.